The Upper Silesian Offensive was a strategically significant Soviet offensive on the Eastern Front of World War II in 1945. It was aimed at capturing the considerable industrial and natural resources located in Upper Silesia and involved forces of the First Ukrainian Front under Marshal Ivan Konev. Due to the importance of the region to the Germans, considerable forces were provided to Army Group Center for its defense, and the Germans were only slowly pushed back to the Czech border. Fighting for the region lasted from mid-January right until the last day of the war in Europe on May 8, 1945. Prelude. The front lines in Silesia had been established at the end of the Vistula-Oder offensive in January, during which Konev's troops had forced the German 17th Army of General Friedrich Schultz out of the industrial heartland of Upper Silesia, around Katowice. The Lower Silesian Offensive operation, taking place in February, had seen the northern wing of Konev's forces make further gains, closing up to the Neisse River. This had, however, left a long exposed flank to the south and east in the Sudeten Mountains, still held by Schultz's troops, which formed a potential threat to the proposed Soviet advance on Berlin. Operation Gems. The German counter-attacks at Lorban and Stryegr. The commander of Army Group Center, Field Marshal Ferdinand Schorner, began to build up Schultz's forces during February for a counter-attack against the 3rd Guards Tank Army's spearheads, which had reached and taken Lorban during the Lower Silesian Offensive. The 56th Panzer Corps and 39th Panzer Corps were grouped under the command of General Nering. A two-pronged attack began on the 1st of March, with the 17th Panzer and Führer Grenadier Divisions attacking in the north, and 8th Panzer Division to the south. The 3rd Guards Tank Army was initially taken by surprise, though by the 3rd of March German forces found themselves threatened by Soviet counterattacks from Naumburg. As a result, Nering decided on a more limited plan of encirclement. Ryborko's troops evacuated Lorban to avoid being cut off, and the town was retaken by the 6th Volksgrenadier Division. By the 4th of March, the encirclement was closed, though large numbers of Soviet troops were able to escape. Within 4 days the trapped force had been destroyed. Despite the extremely limited nature of the victory, the recapture of Lorban was presented as a great success by German propaganda, with Joseph Goebbels visiting the town on the 9th of March to give a speech on the battle. Schorner made preparations for a further attack to the southeast at Stryegr, which was commenced on the 9th of March, though there were not enough forces available for a double envelopment. The Germans were able to penetrate through the Soviet lines and cut off elements of the 5th Guards Army. On the night of 11-12 March, there was an outbreak of panic amongst the trapped troops, who were massacred by Schorner's men as they tried to escape. The counter-attack operation at Lorban has generally been considered the last German victory of World War II. Schorner began to organize a more ambitious offensive to the north to relieve the besieged city of Breslau, moving Nering's divisions northwards from Lorban by rail. Konev acted decisively to regain the initiative in Silesia, shifting the 4th Tank Army from the northern flank of his front. He redeployed it near Grochow in order to spearhead a major attack into Upper Silesia, neutralizing the threat to the left flank of his forces and taking the area around Ratibor. Deployments. Red Army Southern Wing of 1st Ukrainian Front, 3rd Guards Tank Army, 4th Tank Army, 21st Army, 60th Army, 59th Army. Northern Wing of 4th Ukrainian Front, 38th Army. Wehrmacht divisional assignments to corps as of the 31st of December 1944. Units tended to move between corps depending on situation. Army Group A until 25 January 1945, then renamed Army Group Center 9th Army 56th Panzer Corps Korpsgruppe Schlesien INCL 17 ID 214 ID 8th Army Corps INCL 251 ID 6 VGD 4th Panzer Army XXXX VII Panzer Corps INCL 68 ID 168 ID 304 YD 17th Army 59th Corps INCL 359 ID 371 ID 544 VGD 11th SS Corps INCL 78th Sturm Division 320 VGD 545 VGD 1st Panzer Army 11th Corps INCL 75 ID 253 ID 100 JDXXXXIX Mountain Corps INCL 254 ID 97 JD 101 JD 1 Skijat 1st Hungarian Army 17th Corps INCL 3 GEBD 4 GEBD also present 8th 16th 17th 19th and 20th Panzer Divisions. These tended to pass between corps. Also Furubegli Division, 18th SSDIV, 20th SSGD, and Panzer Division Hermann Göring. Air support from Luftflotte 4. The offensive. Konev launched his main attack on 15 March. The 4th Tank Army broke through the German lines west of Oppeln and drove directly southward, heading for Neustadt. A subsidiary attack by the 4th Guards Tank Corps found out to take Nice, southeast of Oppeln. The 59th and 60th Armies also broke through, the former swinging westwards to link up with the 4th Tank Army. The 1st Panzer Army's 11th Corps, holding the lines near Oppeln, was now threatened with encirclement. In the south, the 38th Army attacked German troops of the 59th Corps defending with the backs to the highlands of Moravia. By means of a limited tactical withdrawal on 10 March, Heinrich was able to minimize the damage inflicted by the preparatory bombardment, and the front in this sector remained firm. The encirclement at Oppeln, the 56th Panzer Corps positioned near Oppeln, also started to pull back, but the 20th Grenadier Division of the SS and 168th Infantry Division found themselves trapped by the advance of the 4th Tank Army and 59th Army, which linked up near Neustadt. By the 22nd, Soviet forces of the 59th and 21st Armies succeeded in reducing the Oppeln cauldron, claiming to have killed 15,000 and captured a further 15,000 of the German troops trapped there. Konev launched further attacks on the 24th of March, and by the 31st of March, when Ratibor and Katscha were taken, was able to declare the offensive phase of operations over. Aftermath. The Upper Silesian Offensive succeeded in stabilizing Konev's left flank in preparation for the advance on Berlin, and removed the threat of any German counter-attacks from Army Group Center. The lines in Silesia remained largely unchanged until the end of the war, when Schörner's force surrendered.